inside Trump's plan to reopen the American economy. Paycheck Protection Program is out of money, shutting thousands of businesses out. And face masks to become the new normal. Today on the Don McKay Show. Happy to have you with us here tonight, episode 418. My name is Don McKay. Thank you for joining me. So the president has a plan to reopen the U.S. economy. So a critical piece to this is the gating criteria that all the states and regions have to achieve before they move on to the next phase. So there's a big jump between phase 1 and phase 2, and a lot of locations are going to be somewhere, the phase 1 or the phase 2. So going back, that phase 1, employers telework where possible. Non-essential travel is at a minimum, and the vulnerable population within the workforce needs to shelter in place. And when in public, they want those folks to continue to social distance. And as you can see, it's like a gradual expanding to get things somewhat back to normal. And I understand everybody wants to get back to normal. Everybody does, but you want to do it safely. So if you don't gradually do this, then you're going to have businesses open, places open, but people still too scared to come out. So that's what we're looking at right now. So in phase 2, non-essential travel for employers can resume. Schools and organized youth activity can reopen. Bars, gyms, large venues can all reopen with proper social distancing measures in place. Churches can also reopen with social distancing. Elective surgeries, those can start back up. And the third phase says that bars, gyms, and large venues can reopen with limited social distancing and proper sanitation. So this is obviously something that's more back to normal. The president also described the guidelines as a negotiation. So it's not etched in stone. They don't have to do it exactly this way, but they're definitely open. So let's know your thoughts when you think about the president's plan. It is on paper, it's good. But the time is when do we do this? So we've taken time to do sheltering in place. There is no cure for this virus as of yet. And inevitably, there could be a second wave. If this is handled perfectly, there still could be a second wave. So you definitely want to be able to recognize when a second wave is happening, and be able to better handle the coronavirus better than we've handled it initially, our initial exposure to it. You listen to the Don McKay Show here on Radio on Fire. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the program after this. Welcome back to the show. You made Don McKay in here, Radio on Fire. So a piece of the federal government's stimulus efforts to help small businesses and their employees has run out of money. They don't have any more money after all of this. This is the biggest bill in history, and you have different parts of it that are just out of money. So this shuts out thousands of small businesses, which are the backbone of this country. So potential borrowers of this who were seeking aid amidst this coronavirus, it's the economic plunge that has happened is something that, to quote the president, the likes of which we've never seen before. So the U.S. Small Business Administration said today that the Paycheck Protection Program would not be accepting any more applications, and they had $349 billion. This is why we need accounting. We need to check this out. I can't see how they've gone through all this money. The agency reported approving more than 1.6 million Paycheck Protection Program loan applications, which totaled more than 339 billion from 4,900 lending institutions. So that's what they're saying. So they need more money. So that money has been approved. Most of the borrowers are still waiting for these loans to be funded, but it is a go. They're saying that for the most part, that money is spent, and soon this money is going to appear in their accounts. This coming from the president of the National Federal of Independent Business, at the National Federation of Independent Business, which is an advocacy group in Washington, D.C., said that America's small businesses are on the brink, trying desperately to keep their doors open and support their employees. This is true. So they made these businesses jump through a lot of hoops. Brad Close said that we've been hearing from our members every day, worried that the $349 billion lending program would run dry before it had a chance to help them. And that is what has happened. Many of these worries have now become a reality. Many small businesses are not going to come back. And even with this loan, it would have given them a little bit of cushion. But if the general public does not have confidence that this virus is not going to take them out, they're not going to come back and shop. What's going to make them come to a restaurant? Because the president said everything's good? Even if their governor says everything's good, doesn't mean that everybody's going to rush out and go to the stores. So this is just a very difficult situation. Things have escalated significantly. Protect yourself, protect those around you. The program will continue after this. Welcome back to the program. Your man Dominic K in here. So governors in New York, Connecticut, Maryland, and Pennsylvania are ordering that their residents wear face masks when out in public. This is going to become the new normal. As Americans begin and prepare for life after lockdown, this is the reality. This from Governor Andrew Cuomo. I am issuing an executive order today that all people must wear a mask or face covering in public in situations where social distancing is not possible. That is, as I said, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. And he continued, face masks or bandanas must be worn on public transportation where it is impossible to maintain social distancing or on a busy sidewalk. And they definitely have those in New York. In Maryland, residents are ordered to wear face coverings when inside a shop or on public transportation. Governor Larry Hogan announced. In Connecticut, Governor Ned Lamont said that anyone in a public space should make sure that they are wearing a mask, not only for your safety, but for those around you. And Pennsylvania Governor Tim Wolf said that wearing face masks is the second best thing people could do after staying home. He also shared a tutorial for making a face mask at home. And a lot of people are doing this. Masks are hard to come by, and you don't have to wear the surgical mask. You can make something. You can wear a bandana. There's a lot that you can do. Additional info from the CDC They have published guidelines on their website on how to create your own face covering. And 640,000 people in the United States have tested positive for coronavirus as of this broadcast. And more than 30,000 people who have tested positive for the disease have died. And some 50 doctors and nurses have died after being diagnosed with COVID-19. So this is a serious situation, something that we as a country and as a world are dealing with. So face masks, as I said, the new normal. So you're going to be seeing people, going around, like this, and such. So additionally, President Trump tweeted that he wants to use a never before used provision of the U.S. Constitution, allowing him to adjourn the U.S. Congress so he can push through some of his nominees that require Senate confirmation. So what's interesting, this is of course days after he claimed to have total authority over the states. Then of course he backed down because he does not have total authority. He has a bunch of people that he wants to push through. 129 nominees that he's trying to push through, he said, are stuck in the Senate because of partisan obstruction. Okay. Who controls the Senate? Not just stuck in the Senate because of obstruction. But Trump's argument seemed to be that many of these vacancies needed to be filled to assist with the coronavirus response. The president has been in office for almost 4 years. But these include the Director of National Intelligence, 2 members of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, an Assistant Secretary of the Treasury Department, and an Undersecretary of Agriculture. This is who he says is we have to have these people in office. But like I said, there's 129 people in all. We're going to follow this closely and see how this goes. Finally, the U.S. government is exploring the possibility of the COVID-19 virus originating in a Wuhan lab. And we've talked about this being something that was man-made or woman-made, person-made, created in a laboratory. Intelligence and the national security officials revealed that the government is looking at this possibility. Now, nothing is etched in stone. We do not know this for sure. People have floated this idea. It makes sense, but we don't know for sure. So the intelligence they're looking at this possibility that someone in a Wuhan lab was infected by accident or poor handling of materials, and then in turn infected others, and then so on and so forth. Joint Chief of Staff Chairman Mark Milley acknowledged this theory, and we have talked about this, and he did say that it is being investigated, but he would say that at this point it is inconclusive. He does not know for sure. So we have to keep with that. Even the president said that we're doing a thorough examination of this horrible situation, and he did not discuss the details because we do not know. We do not know the details of that, but it is unfortunate. Of course, you met Diamond K. Hit me up on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire, of course, providing the latest in breaking news, entertainment, sports, and political stories that matter to you from my point of view. You can get all show archives and exclusive content. Becoming a member today at radioonfire.com/join. Radio on Fire, we are reporting for the nation. And I'm here 7 p.m. and I will we'll get to that. We'll get to that tomorrow. We're talking about some new releases that we have coming out. But these are fascinating times that we live in, and the political stories, the social issues, entertainment. You can join me daily as I give you my thoughts, breaking down news and trending stories. You can hear the program on Spotify, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, Libsyn, Facebook, Instagram. Just search for The Diamond K Show or subscribe on YouTube today, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. See you guys tomorrow.